FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
I have probably a incautious interpretation, arguing with his own interpretation of his experience in Vietnam. But suffice it to say that he decided that what got him through there was faith in this higher power of American nationalism, that his own egotism, the whole book, Faith in My Fathers, is set up, the first half is very entertaining about just, what a hard drinking, hard living, almost going to be kicked out of everything type of guy he was. It's actually really, really fun to read for those reasons. But then he discovers in Vietnam that there's a limit to his selfishness, to his egotism, to his narcissism when he's broken finally in captivity after a couple of weeks of torture. And so this was his lesson, and in Worth the Fighting For, he wants to give that lesson to everybody else. He wants everyone else to have the opportunity to feel the redemption power of faith in this higher thing, which happens to be this sort of greater cause of American nationalism. Now, who cares, right? Why is that interesting? It becomes interesting when you see how does that evolve into policy. What do you know about McCain, all right? You know that he's interested in campaign finance reform, war on terror, whatever. McCain, think about him like this. There's a reason why, 5,000 newspaper editorial boards have endorsed him already this year. One reason is which newspaper reporters and John McCain have something great in common. That is, they see something that's bad and they want to fix it. In his case, he wants to fix it because it is, again, like cynicism or anything like else. It's reducing our faith in this higher thing. Newspaper reporter wants to fix it because it's bad. So it's more important that you fix it than it is necessarily, or you say that you're fixing it. Even the appearance of reform is enough in some cases than the actual solution of what makes it work or not. Campaign finance reform is a classic example. Money in politics, bad. What do? We use the government in a huge way to fix it. If you look over and over again in McCain's career, he identifies things, and they are all over the map. It's ultimate fighting on Indian reservations. It's steroids in baseball. All of these things. It's he is described as like transcendent issues that undermine Americans' faith in country. So we need to do something to fix it. What happens is every way that he uses to fix it is by exercising government power or expanding government power over and over and over again. Excuse me. So in campaign finance reform, he cobbles together a reform that has pretty grave limitations on free expression, free political expression, which is the most important political or expression that you have under the First Amendment. In the case of ultimate fighting, he wants to ban it. He tried to. He was unable to do it in all states. Instead, he wrote a heavy-handed letter to every attorney general in the country, encouraging them to stop it. If it comes down to steroids in baseball, he decided that we needed to have drug testing on the same level of the International Olympic Committee, and perhaps in high schools too. Why not? None of this comes from a limited government tradition at all. It is anathema to that. And he has expressed very little over the years interest intellectually in that. He started off as sort of a default Reagan conservative. He liked Reagan. He won in Congress. He didn't really think about his own ideology that much. Over the years, he grew enthusiasm for getting involved in regulation, tobacco taxes, fighting down big business. He ran a pretty explicitly anti-corporate interest campaign in the late 90s and early in the 2000 campaign. And if you saw just the other day in the one of the debates he had with Mitt Romney, he compared his career to Mitt Romney's in that, well, Mitt's patriotism was a private patriotism, and this is less than a public patriotism. When he gave a speech in 1998, I believe it was at Kansas University, or 1999, sketching out his idea of patriotism, it's essentially militaristic. He thinks that private activity, private pursuit of happiness, private gain is less than public sacrifice underneath this higher good.